Shannon for three. Bingo! He is hard to believe. Magic a 360 turn with the dribble. Magic down the middle. Gives it. Slam dunk.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper, episode 81 of our 24-minute recaps. Shout out, 81-point game. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on all platforms at YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. And, of course, to subscribe on Apple Podcasts as well. So for tonight's episode, keeping it short, Clippers and the Pelicans. The Clippers falling again in New Orleans. A hefty margin yet again. 103 to 120 tonight without Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverley, and Serge Ibaka, and Luke Kennard. But we did have Rondo, and we still should have played better than that. I thought that it was a pretty pathetic performance from the get-go. I think, though, in fairness to the Clippers, we've been playing such good basketball lately and winning so many games shorthanded that an off night was bound to happen soon. I think we won, 17 of our last 20 games recently. So we've been in the major win column lately, at Portland, beating Phoenix, just at Indiana. So we haven't had, too many to be honest, we have taken advantage of a fairly light schedule looking at it retrospectively, but we haven't had any slip-ups. We've blown teams out for the most part. But tonight we got blown out, and we played this weird fake zone in the beginning of the game. Like, I couldn't tell what kind of zone we were playing, just a matchup zone. But when you play a zone, you need to be able to build a wall and keep teams out the paint. And we didn't do that. Zion was basically taking guys one-on-one, and when you're not actually playing like a real zone, or it didn't look like a real zone to me, because Reggie Jackson's just picking up Zion one-on-one basically at the perimeter, and he's just, okay, one in and out, and he's by him. It's like Reggie's intimidated. He's not going to try to get in front of him. He's going to try to let him go into help, but the help's not there. So I thought that our defense was just weak in the first quarter. The Pels scored 33 points, and 20 points was only scored 20 points by the Clippers were scored in that first quarter. I just thought that Paul George Sr. didn't bring it tonight at all. I think they were very poor. I think that we just got easily discouraged by the fact that we had a solid amount of good looks. I think the Pelicans did make it tough for us. They're a very athletic team. Zion, Ingram, Lonzo, Bledsoe. Lonzo's like a 6'7", 6'6" point guard with length. Eric Bledsoe's extremely athletic and a good defender. Brandon Ingram's got a long wingspan, good, really, tall, lanky guy, and Zion is strong, but he's not a great defender. But overall, I thought we were a little static. I thought we got some good looks, but Marcus Morris Sr. and Paul George, they missed a lot of open looks. Marcus Morris Sr., 6 of 17 from the field and 3 of 10 from three. He's been really good lately, and he's been amazing this season. You guys know we talk about it all the time. But against the Pelicans this season, for whatever reason, he has been pretty garbage. 0 of 5 when we've lost to the Pelicans by 20 on the 14th of March. So he's just struggled against them. Thank God that we won't see them in the playoffs probably, and thank God we won't see them for the rest of the season. But Marcus Morris Sr. wasn't doing well enough for me. Paul George only played 25 minutes. I thought that he got easily discouraged again because he wasn't getting many calls, going up a little soft. And I just thought that overall we just got discouraged by the fact that we weren't hitting our threes. And that's my one problem with our team. I know I liked how we went to Boogie, though, in that second quarter, and he was dominating in the post. I love to see that. My only thing was we didn't have any form of consistent offense at all. We couldn't get too many consistent stops, but we couldn't get consistent buckets. I thought that Rondo did a decent job of getting guys good looks, but we just didn't capitalize on those open threes. Paul George, 1 of 6. Reggie Jackson, 1 of 3. Patrick Patterson, 1 of 6. Nick Batum didn't play enough. Only 14 minutes, and he was 1 of 3. We missed a lot of his cutting tonight. I thought that for the rest of the game, we were neck to neck with the Pels. We only got outscored by 4 the rest of the game. But my thing was this. We go to Boogie in the post. We go to Paul George in the post or in the mid-range area, and we just got guys standing on the perimeter. The angles to pass the ball, you can get guys playing two guys a lot easier when guys aren't cutting. Their head is not on a swivel. They're just, in the middle of ball and man. And in this case, two men when they're on the perimeter like that. You got to move without the ball, Batum, so make guys go with you. And it makes passes harder. The amount of deflections they got also was the reason we didn't get into any offensive stuff. 18 turnovers for the Clippers tonight. 4 from Paul, 3 from Terrence, 3 from Zoo, who I thought was just tonight. We didn't offer much resistance at the rim at all. I thought that Boogie, as good as he was offensively on defense, at times he just didn't want to go up. And I thought that overall our energy just wasn't great in this game. And I thought you got to give credit to the Pels. They were hitting everything. I mean, Zion, he didn't even have to do too much in the second half. 23 points, 8 of 11 from the field for him. He was getting whatever he wanted against us. And for the second straight game that we played him, he was the best player on the court. Ingram, 17.7 boards, 5 assists. Lonzo, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals on 7 of 14 from the field. Eric Bledsoe, 18 points, 6 of 13. And 6 of 13 from the field, so very efficient. 1 of 4 from 3. They didn't even shoot. Oh, actually, they did shoot pretty well from 3, honestly, New Orleans. 15 of 29. The thing is, they didn't overdo it. They don't shoot too many threes. They don't have the greatest spacing. But you had guys like Wenyen Gabriel, who I think Brian Seaman said he came into the game having only made 2 threes or 3 threes all season. He made 2 threes tonight. So it was just their night. It was not ours. It's nothing to be too concerned about because obviously we don't have our best player. We don't have Serge Ibaka. We don't have Pat Bev. It's not too big a deal. It happens. We'd kill the Pelicans in a 7-game series. We won't be playing them in the playoffs. My only concern is the one thing with the Clippers, we're a jump shooting team, and it's just going to be key that we continue to get good looks even when the three's not falling. I think that 14 of 45 is unacceptable. That's too many threes. Half of our shots are threes when the threes aren't going in. I don't care how open they are. That's ridiculous because we didn't miss one free throw. 17 of 17, but that's just modern basketball in a nutshell for you. I know we're the best three-point shooting team of all time percentage-wise, but you know what? That's not going to matter in the playoffs when we lose if we continue to just shoot threes when we are not hitting from the outside. But the reason why you cannot panic is because we've been playing so well and Kawhi did not play, and he is ultimately going to be the one that has to take us over the promised land or to the promised land. I know it's Paul George that is the guy that, is the question mark that everybody's talking about, but Kawhi ultimately, we needed him for one game. We needed him to close it out. Besides game 5 last year, he didn't bring the juice. He needs to be the one that gets us over the hump. He needs to have that expectation if we're holding him to the standards of other greats at the small forward position. But let's move on. I didn't watch any other games today, but I wanted to say that I am happy that the Clippers are right in that midst of that second seed now. Freaking Chris, though, tonight with a big dagger. He is a great dagger guy, but again, I don't want him taking my game-winning or game-tying shot because besides those 2 in the playoffs that I was at, San Antonio and Memphis, he missed a lot more than he made. Classic example, 2014 game 5 against OKC. But anyway, and then late game 2014 game 1 against Golden State. But I could talk about Chris's time with the Clippers all day long. Fact of the matter is he's still clutch. He still takes over games, and he made the big shot tonight against the Knicks, who have been fantastic. And I'll take my L. I said the Knicks are going to be the worst team in the East this year. I will take my full-fledged L, and I'm happy to take it because the Knicks have just been awesome. It was so funny. I always say it, but, Lucas in the 5th episode, New York State of Mind, was talking about all this optimism. I'm like, all right, we'll see. Probably going to be like a 13 seed again. It's really just all been about Julius Randle. I know the rest of the guys and Coach Tibbs. It's mostly been about Coach Tibbs, but Julius Randle, you need a player in this sport to get the job done and to lead you. And Julius Randle has been nothing short of incredible for the Knicks. I also think so. Let's go, but a good one for the Suns, I guess. To break the Knicks winning streak. The Clippers are right there, though, on their tails, and I have a feeling we're going to catch them for that second seed. But the Lakers, I did catch a little bit of their game. This was Anthony Davis' second game back, if I'm not mistaken, right? He came back last game against Dallas. And I saw that he did a little bit better tonight. I saw him make 2 shots late in the game. But I heard that the Lakers were sloppy tonight and kept the magic in the game, even though they had a big lead. I'm looking at the scorers right now. They were outscored 40-22 in the second quarter. I heard that Drummond has been getting cooked in pick and roll, taking no man's land position and helping, but not really helping, not doing anything to affect the pass, put pressure on the ball handler, just standing in no man's land. And, again, when the thing about the Lakers is you've plugged in so many players this season and plugged in and out, and players are been in and out of the lineup with injuries. It's hard to keep that consistent rhythm. That's why I always say I really do believe that your record does indicate how good you are more often than not. In the modern NBA, less and less. But, even in the modern NBA, I mean, the Lakers were the first seed last year, and they won the championship. So, I think that the Lakers, I'm not saying that they're the fifth best team in the West or anything like that, but I'm just saying that this season, they've been the fifth best team. This playoffs, though, may be different than the season because they haven't been healthy the whole season. And if they were, they'd have a different record right now. But it's a good win. Dennis Schroeder, I heard, was really tough tonight. I heard that he made big plays down the stretch. And Dennis has been very good this season. Just sometimes he can be a little impatient. Sometimes he can rush things. But Dennis has been great for the most part this season. Let's just look at the box scores for the Lakers, see if I can pick up anything. 18 points, 8 of 15 for Anthony Davis. That's better. And 31 minutes played. Kuzma shooting efficiently is good. 14 points, 7 boards, a plus 17. Dennis Schroeder, 21 points, 10 assists, 10 of 18 from the field, and 21 points. And Montrader with 18 off the bench. So solid all-around performance. 54% from the field, shooting the ball for the Lakers. So not bad. And the Lakers have to take advantage of a slightly easy schedule coming up before LeBron can really come back. However, the Wizards are not the easy schedule anymore because they've been on an absolute tear. Shout out to Westbrook. He's really put the team on his back. You can go back to my recaps. Again, I'll admit when I take my L's, I was saying that they were pretty much done. I lost hope in them. And Westbrook and Beal, especially Westbrook, have really put this team on his back and prove that, I'm going to get to the play-in game. And I love that about Westbrook. He does not give up. It shows that in the beginning of the season, he just wasn't 100%. But thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I'm going to end it with a half recap, and we're going to go to the live subscribers. Clipper fans, don't worry. Hopefully we get Kawhi back for the next game. I mean, this load management stuff has gone ridiculous. I just think that we've done a good job of getting over it. But when you lose, it magnifies that times a lot. So get back on the court, Kawhi. Come on, Ty Lue and them. I know, let him play. We got 8 or 9 games left. Let's see. Let's look at our record right now. The Clippers. So, yeah, San Antonio, big win against Washington tonight in overtime. I saw that DeRozan made a nice go-ahead shot. You like to see that? So, we got 9 games left this season. 9. That's nothing, ladies and gentlemen. So, Kawhi should play. I think we should just full on just throw the whole squad out there these last 9 games if we can. Because, look, Beverly and Ibaka, we need Ibaka for certain things in the playoffs. Beverly, though, he's got to be walking on a tight leash when he comes back because he's not been a part of this team like that this season. Anyway, you may dislike me for saying that, but I think it's the truth. I think that I'd rather have an in-rhythm Reggie unless he starts screwing up. Then we can adjust. But going into it, I would rather go in with the mindset that we're getting more Reggie than Bev because as great as I like Bev's defense, I don't know. He's just we'll see. I do like Bev a lot more than Reggie, but Reggie has just been so great this season. Anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Peace out. And now to the live subscribers. Yo, yo, yo. What you guys got for me today? Solid amount of people. Of course, when we lose, that's just the classic way. The Raptors, Maniac Lane, are not doing very well. Oh, look, Intel Wild. I appreciate your money. Stay talking shit, though. We have a higher seed than you. We'll see if you beat us this year. Hoodie Dime. What's up, bro? What's up, Lake Show? George Paul did not show up tonight. But Intel Wild, you be staying quiet when Paul George gets off, don't you? Or do you not? What's up, Dime? Why is everybody saying the Warriors are trash? Yeah, right. I'm with you on that. Blazers Clippers first round. I want that. Rematch for 2016. Blake Griffin. I disagree. Your Nets are overrated. Intel Wild still living in last year's glorified summer league, talking about the 3-1 lead. We got a different team with a new coach. not Glenn. And Rajon Rondo, certified champion in your glorified summer league last year. Blake Griffin's acting like the Nets or like the Warriors. Like they really are like the best 3-point shooting team, but you guys are not all that. I don't even know if I want to say you guys. Yeah, Randall's been great. What's up, Maxwell Valencia? Trez always plays angry, Jonah Kim. He's that angry player. He's a relentless player, especially on the offensive end. Appreciate you saying I keep it real, Intel Wild. Ben McLemore just joined the team and he's better than Wesley Matthews. Definitely a better shooter, Blake Griffin. I agree with you. Not as good at defense, though, I don't think. Lakers win, Clippers lose. What a shitty day, says Edward. I don't know why you care if the Lakers losing. Like it's not a big deal for us right now. I don't know why you're worried about them so much. We should be focusing on us. They're not as long. I don't know if you care what round we play them, if we do play them, but they're irrelevant. You know, we should be worried about the Suns. It should be Suns win, Clippers lose. What a shitty day. But yeah, I know you like to chirp those Laker fans all the time, but I'm just focusing on us. Intel Wild, bro. I'm just letting you know this right now. If your Lakers blow it this year, I don't want to hear the excuses, bro. Oh, we were injured. Nah, I've been hearing all years when the Lakers get healthy, we're going to be straight. That's all I hear. So you're going to have to take the heat just like I did if you guys lose, talking all this shit. But anyway, we'll see. Omar says PG only had 9 points. It's wild. Every time he takes one step forward, he takes 2 steps back. Well, here's my thing about Paul. He's not the leader of a team for that very reason, but that's why he's our second best player, and that's why I'm okay with it. That's why I would still not – all the Clipper fans like to chirp Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has more pressure on him than Paul to lead on a nightly consistent basis. Like I would take Jimmy over him. I would take Dame. But Paul's our second guy, so I don't need to worry about him being the leader of our team. Anyway, he's done enough for me without Kawhi this season with all the load managing. I'm sorry to hear that, Jonah, about not being able to be here on the recaps. Thank you, Jordan Francis. Raid, my podcast is available for that episode after Game 6 to the Nuggets. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's called – I'll check the name for you. But I did say we're going to lose Game 7 because I said I've seen a choke from a mile away. Come on, bro. I know my team. I know what a choke looks like. Do you think the Clippers rely a tad bit too much on the 3-ball? Yes, I do. Hoodie dime, bro. I'm trying to get a haircut, and I wasn't trying to go Clipper hat with the jacket when we lose by 20. They don't deserve that luxury of repping. Phoenix plays E. You're down bad. No, I'm not. Who are you? Oh, yeah, you're the motherfucker that didn't know anything about the game of basketball. What happens? Will you be attending? Hey, what happens if Lakers drop to play? Says Ty Baller. That's not going to happen. Raid says, Darren, will you be attending any more regular season Clippers games or saving for the playoffs? Saving for the playoffs, not going to any more regular season. Dime, who is the most impactful player the game has ever seen? Curry? No. I mean, I think he's one of the modern ones. I think Magic, third. I think Russell and Chamberlain, though, really formed, like, I think they kind of, like, they're pioneers to me of the game. Like, before them, like, Kuzi, Bob Pettit, like, They're not the birth of what the league we know now is. It's a league dominated by black superstars, and they were the Giants. So like, I don't know. It's tough. Curry's up there though. I think Jordan, from the way we view the superstar athlete as basketball, he changed a lot. But Dirk Nowitzki, in his own way, with the stretch four and shooting bigs, I think he made a huge impact on the game. Iverson with the crossovers and the wide crossovers that used to be carries, huge. I think Isaiah Thomas dribbling the ball the way he was. You know, these guys change. I don't know if there's any one player I can pinpoint. Problem is PG-13 don't get off in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, y'all act like Paul George has never had a good playoff series in his life. Who do you think will come out on top in the West play-in tournament? It depends on who plays in the play-in tournament, so no one knows. Lake Show asks, you see what Dame said about his team, bro? Loki took shots at him, and it shows you don't get a lot of belief in him. What did he say? This era of defense is better? Bro, that's just objectively false. This is not better defense. Because they load up more than you've seen? Not even, I mean, do they even? Come on, bro. Thoughts on Rusty Buckets calling Curry the greatest offensive player of all time? I think it's a lot of recency bias. But he's a big modern fan, but I think that he's up there, top 5, no question, maybe even top 3. But I honestly, like, as great as he is and as great of a shooter he is, I just don't know if a 6'3" guy, for me, can be the greatest offensive player of all time, because it's hard to get shots when he has 2 guys on him. Like, and he's not known for his passing. He's known for being like the gravity and the scoring and this and that. But like, to me, I would rather have my best player on offense be able to make and take a tough shot that other players cannot hit, then he draws so much attention that someone's getting an open shot that you don't trust. At the end of the game, I don't want the ball out of my best player's hands. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like, you know, in theory, you want a guy getting an open shot, like, of course. But shit, bro, sometimes you just don't want the ball in the hands of someone else. And I think that just it's not Curry's fault. I think he maximized his total, like completely maximized how good a 6'3" guy can be as an offensive player. But, you know, for me, this is all opinion. I like somebody a little bit bigger. And that's coming from a little guy, but like, you know. Oh, here it is. Here, right. It's called I've Seen This Movie Before and I Hate It. September 14th, 2020. That was the one. So there you go. Clippers interior defense didn't seem to exist today, bro, says Wilson Santos. I agree. CB3 or Stockton. Who are you taking? Stockton. I know Chris Paul's my favorite player, but like, not the durability. The longevity's looking kind of close. I guess you can say that Chris Paul. I mean, here's the thing. Chris Paul played with an electric scorer in Harden. He just didn't play with him for that long. I think Malone and Stockton work better together, but I think that in that team had a lot of weapons, the Rockets, and he got injured when it mattered. And then 2019, he didn't play very well. I think that Stockton got to the finals twice. You know, I got to give him the hand. And he all-time assist leader. They're both very pesky defenders. I have to watch more footage, but I don't think Chris Paul is going to be better than him. I think Chris Paul, as much as I love the guy, is so overrated by our generation. I think he's great. Like, I love him, but like, he's great. But he's overrated by our generation, man. He's too ball dominant for my liking. I know he's a point guard, and you like that. I like that, but I think that he's one of those guys where sometimes it can be a little too much about Chris. I think he's gotten better about it over the course of his career. But I think that certain teams, you position, it's kind of like LeBron in a way where you position certain guys around him. And sometimes with the Clippers, when we were void of creators and stuff like that, when he would miss the game, we would struggle immensely. And, you know, that's just – people think that makes him more valuable. I understand it makes him more valuable, but it's also because he's hard to – he changes teams for the better for sure, but it's not just bad luck that Chris hasn't been to the championship. It's not. And I love him. I want him to do great. But give me the 2014 Game 5 back against Oklahoma. Give me the 2015 Game 6 fourth quarter back. Could he have made one shot to stop that run? Could he have? Was it Isaiah Thomas or Or I don't know about Stockton. But Stockton made a game winner to win the conference finals. I mean, it's tough. I got to watch more. But Stockton, the assist numbers in that era are crazy. Also, we have to acknowledge with point guards. I understand this is a guard's game, but the rules have changed to favor the guard. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take stats and impact with a grain of salt. The way they have made this game on purpose. Those guys did it with different spacing and totally different stuff. I do start to feel bad for PG sometimes, right? Dennis Rodman underrated? I think he's perfectly rated. I think certain Gen Z bots try to give him too much love to discredit Jordan. Hi, Raptors Nation. Welcome to the stream. I'd like to see more fans of different teams. We got a couple Raptors fans. Welcome. Yeah, I know. HFGH. He does donate shit on the Clippers. It is funny. Moises Kanyeka. You Heat fans, stop complaining, man. I know you've been a little disappointing, but you've won championships. I don't feel bad. Dime, honestly, did you want to keep Trez or see him go? Go back to my videos, Intel Wild. I wanted to see him go after he came out and was extremely ignorant on social media, taking no accountability for how poorly he played. And then going, Atlanta, if you're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, go back and listen to my podcast right after. I was like, nah. No. And then he posted a picture on his Instagram story. They say Trez don't guard, though, about a hustle award after we got eliminated because he couldn't guard. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to go. But thanks for joining me tonight. By the way, Raptors Nation, to answer your question, what's a successful postseason run? Conference finals or bust. But that's it, guys, for me tonight. Anyway, peace out, y'all.